Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the FRN Hero Award Dinner presented Friday, April 26, 2019 at the High Tech Center. Designed to present winners who have done extraordinary events in Marion County. The moderator was Jeff Schrock of WBOY. Special video appearance was by Hoda from the Today Show and Herschel Woody Williams, as a Lifetime Achievement Award from Pierpont Community Technical College is presented by Steve Leach, Vice President, Organization and Development. Awards were presented to the high school students from Fairmont Senior, North Marion, and East Fairmont. And the 4 award winners from the FRN were Tyler Lane, Welcome Home Vets, Deacon David Lester on mission work throughout America and West Virginia, Burley Butch Tennant on the Christmas toy shop and other items, and Pam Nolan for her children advocacy workshop. So we invite you to stay tuned, and a special award to Frank Jarman. Let's get going with our program tonight.
Thank you, buddy. I didn't really have anything planned to say, but a few of the people in this room met me when I was kind of at my lowest, and I just really needed a kind of a hand up. They were there for me and they believed in me when really no one else did, and that's all I want to do for someone else, so thank you.
The second bit of information that we need to pass along with you is about childhood poverty. According to the National Center for Children in Poverty, 66% or 16,232 of West Virginia children whose parents do not have a high school degree live in poor families. 28% or 33,306 of West Virginia children under the age of 6 live in poor families. 38% or 33,458 of children in poor families do not have an employed parent, compared to 5% or 14,942 children in non-poor families. This gentleman has served Marion County as a county commissioner and has served Marion County children by coaching football and most notably by heading up the annual Santa Toy Shop, where families register and come to get their children presents for Christmas. This gentleman recently said, "Every child deserves a Christmas." Please welcome to the stage our second Hero Awards recipient, Butch Tennant.
Do I need to leave this?
Well, thank everybody who voted for me, especially the ones who voted twice. But it's an honor to be up here with these other 3 heroes. And it's really nice to be sharing this with you guys this evening. I sure appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you for everything you do.
Moving on, we are going to talk about disaster relief. And as you know, Hurricane Sandy affected 24 states in all of the eastern seaboard, causing an estimated $71 billion in damages. Hurricane Sandy, as a hurricane and a post-tropical cyclone, is directly responsible for at least 147 deaths. During the Tuscaloosa, Alabama tornadoes of 2011, 324 people died, the deadliest tornado day on record in 86 years. Katrina is one of the 5 deadliest hurricanes to ever strike the United States. During the Wyoming County flood here in West Virginia, nearly 1,000 people were left homeless immediately following the disaster. 80% of the business district was destroyed. 50% of the businesses and homes were destroyed. Nearly 75% of the homes suffered extensive damage or were destroyed. Now, this gentleman showed up for all, get this, all of these disasters, lending a hand, bringing supplies and fellow volunteers to aid those in great need. Please welcome to the stage our third Heroes Award recipient, Deacon David Lester.
to all of you for coming out this evening. Thank you to Valerie Giddings for nominating me. It was quite a surprise. And as Jeff said, he really gathered quite a lot of information on disasters there. That has been an important part of the mission of my life, particularly since 2000. And the foundation for that actually was our own home was flooded just 3 miles down the road here in Boothville in 2003. And nothing will convict you more than being able to experience what others are, having experienced what others are going through. It gives you empathy and compassion, and inevitably it leads you to want to help those, knowing that others have helped you. And so there are so many people I could thank for having been heroes in my own life, not the least of which is my wife, and most of all, of course, Jesus Christ, because he's the ultimate hero of my life. Thank you very much.
Our final award talks about child safety. 1 in 4 girls and 1 in 6 boys will be sexually abused before they turn 18 years old. 3% of girls were age 10 or younger at the time of their first rape victimization, and 30% of girls between the ages of 11 and 17. Poorer students are more likely to drop out of school, which only continues the cycle of poverty that can sometimes stretch on for generations in the same family or community. That's why this woman volunteers for CASA, supports the Children's Advocacy Center, and has worked with the Marion County Family Resource Network and Head Start. Please welcome our last Heroes Awards recipient to the stage, Pam Nolan.
Well, everyone's been so fast tonight, so I brought a big speech along to belong to me. And I was all okay until I looked at my daughter. She started getting all teary, so I apologize. But my kids, I have 6 children, and 4 of them are here tonight. Abby and her family came from outside Philadelphia. Christine came from New York. Michael's in Morgantown, and Jimmy just recently relocated back to Fairmont. So I'm glad to have them, and my granddaughter's with me, and my husband. And my mom is here from Delaware also, so they've all come. Because of the support I've had from my family, I've had the opportunity to be able to do all this wonderful stuff and be involved in things. And when my kids were little, and all our friends were together, everything, all their kids would, put their little purses on their shoulder and they would go shopping. And my kids would get their purses and jump on the rocking horse and say, "I'm going to a meeting." Just volunteerism has just always been a part of our lives, and I hope that I can pass that on to them, to be involved in their communities and to reach out. And I think the most wonderful people I meet are because I get to volunteer, and volunteers and the people that are working with all these agencies are just amazing and giving, and I have benefited so much from that. So if you're not involved, and I'm probably preaching to the choir, but if you're not involved, that's what we should be doing, and we should be looking for more opportunities to be able to reach out and touch our community, our families, and the people that need us. So thank you so much.
Well, I first met this gentleman a long time ago, but in talking to him recently, he said that in 2016, he was talking with some people at the FRN, and said, there's a lot of good things going on here in Marion County, and we need to recognize some of the people. Is there anything going on to do that? And they said, no. And he said, I think we ought to start something. So that was the conception of the idea for the Marion County Hero Award in 2016. The first one was held February. Snow. West Fairmont High School. You learned a lesson. and brought it out here. Frank Jarman has had a long and rich history of service, both in the public and in the private sectors of life. As Jeff said, for 7 years, he's been the director either of the Clarksburg mission or of the Fairmont mission. I've had a chance to witness him in both places, and he's done a tremendous job. In between all of that, I don't necessarily have all my dates right without looking at my notes. I'm not going to look at my notes. But he's been in North Carolina and in West Virginia. In North Carolina, he served to develop a Habitat for Humanity's program at Morehead City, increasing the number of homes that were built in a year from 10 to 20. He also, prior to coming to West Virginia again, served 3 years as a director of the Methodist Church camp. He lost his wife there, but felt a nudge in various ways to listen to God. And God kind of nudged him to say to come back to West Virginia. He came to West Virginia, and I think he got involved in the American Red Cross for a while. And after that, he went into the oil and gas business. But as he told me, somewhere up around Moundsville or Wheeling, he felt that God was saying to him, look, you didn't come back to West Virginia to work in oil and gas. You came to work with people. So at that point, he began to send out resumes. And he sent out 14 resumes to different nonprofit groups. And the only one that asked him to come for an interview was the Marion County Family Resource Network. So in 2014 or 15, he came here to Marion County to serve the Marion County Family Resource Network. He was very strong about having meetings. And he began to do things that we think about doing, but he didn't. He held meetings with social agencies every third Wednesday of the month. He organized communities and went into those communities and schools with drug education and house-to-house visitations and passing out flyers. He did numerous things that were extremely helpful. Lunch and learns and backpack programs and helping with the Christmas toy shop. And when there was public meetings, he held them in schools and in municipal buildings. But as he told me, one of his friends, I think Dave Sapp, said, we need to have a meeting at the Day Cafe. And he was reluctant to move it to a Day Cafe place, which is now closed. But he did. And it was there after the meeting was over that he was asked to go say hello to one of the people that was working there, who happened to be Lynn. And it just so happened that the people had arranged a little meeting with us, two of them. And so they told Frank to call in, and a little bit later, they were married. And today, or this week, they celebrate 8 months of marriage. And they've just finished a Caribbean cruise, and that's why Frank was wearing sunglasses up here. So we thought that it would be most appropriate, as he has undertaken the task of honoring other heroes in Marion County, that we honor him also as a Marion County hero. Frank Jarman.
Frank, your special award is marked fragile, and it's still taped up, so.
Thank you. I don't think there's a thing in here. But you know what, to get an award, Dee Dee, and you introduce it, Dee Dee knows public service like nobody else. Thank you. Let me just say this. Mark Twain said, the two best days of a man's life is when he's born and when he knows what he's supposed to be doing. And that's what's happened to me. I have realized that helping people is so much more beneficial than me being helped, or me trying to put money in my pocket. I'm sorry, Lynn. But it's important that you know this. The third most important day of my life was when I met Lynn. And Tony Toothman and Jan Smith conspired, and it worked out great for me and Lynn. They probably owe you an apology. But the fourth one was when I came to the realization that I could make the worst decisions of my life. I could do horrible things, and God still loved me and allows me to continue helping other people. So, Family Resource Network, thank you for allowing me to do what I do best. And thank all of you for serving in this community. God bless you. Thank you.